All right. We're live. We'll share out real quick. Yeah, I see a lot of people online right now. That's fantastic. I don't know why I'm sending that to myself. Everybody that's live. Everybody that's live. Anyone who can give a damn. That's what I'm after. Just anyone who can give a damn. Okay. So, excellent. Katie, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Okay. We're gonna do what Jake suggested, which is to do some battles, but I want him to come in real quick, and I kind of want him to explain what I'm supposed to do, because I can play a part if I can understand why. That's kind of my only stipulation, is I have to understand why I'm doing something in order to play the part. So let's go here. Mind jumping in and helping me out? Do you want to do Discord or TikTok? I think Discord would be better. All right. Hey, Nicole. Hey, I want to say I really appreciate you taking the time. If you have a moment, I have a question for you, and it's important, but I just need to know that you want to talk before I say anything. It's consent. I don't want to just talk to you. I don't just want to force you to listen. And she's gone, and that's okay. So, oh, okay, so you are here. Excellent, Nicole. So I had a question for you, okay? If I was to tell you that we have to work very quickly to make something happen because it's what everybody's waiting for. And in order to make it happen, I need your help. You can ask me any questions. The more questions that you ask, the better you'll understand the situation, and the better I can give you what you need to be successful. The goal is to give you a quest, something that you can do in one of two formats, or a third if you so choose. Do something in the real, do something online, and the third option, there are a lot of third options, would be to do both. So, Nicole, if that's something that you want to try, if you are fed up with the things that are happening and you want to help, I know how you can help. But I need you to understand that what I tell you is important. I don't want to waste my breath. I don't want to ask if you're not even willing to try. It's as little or as big as you want it to be. And it's as impactful or important to the whole thing as it can be. Okay? So yeah. What do you think? Like I said, I don't want to force. We're not quite ready for randos, Nicole. That is absolutely understandable. That is absolutely a perfectly fine way to perceive what it is that I'm saying. Let me see if I can. What I'm going to try to do is so you just need to ask a question. When you're ready to ask a question, ask it. Don't wait. I'll explain until you ask a question so that we can talk about that. It's a mission. Okay. Please understand that I see things from a perspective that most people don't understand. Okay. I live in this space. I live in perpetual understanding. I can look at a situation and I can live in the moment with the people that are experiencing it. And I'm getting a little off track. What does that have to do with you? We need to condense our voices. We need to consolidate what we say, how we say it, so that no matter what's happening, they can't keep doing what they're doing. Nicole, that's a great question. The question is in itself what you want it to be, its purpose. Okay? I'm telling you right now that the overall goal, yes, I am talking about what's going on in America, but I am not just talking about what's going on in America. I'm talking about what's going on in the entire world. This is bigger. This is bigger than, this is a man-made problem that can be fixed by man if we can get to the table. And that's the momentum that we have right now. It's stop. Okay. That's it. It's hashtag stop. That's it. Okay. It's taking something that has my face, has my voice, saying what it is you are feeling, because you may or may not be you may be too scared to say it yourself. So if there's something that you want me to say, something that you want to actively record, and something you actively want to post, I will say whatever you want me to say. I will tell whatever you want me to tell. There are asterisks there in that I will normally try to explain. But we need to consolidate our voices, and the only way to do that is if someone will give their voice. Okay, so I am giving you my voice. And that starts with the question, whatever it is that intrigues you, that motivates you, that realizes that if nothing happens, we're going over a waterfall. Okay, the downward slope here is not good for anybody. That's not true, because it's very good for those who have money. We don't have money. Okay, we just don't. We do not have the energy, and they know it. Money is energy, energy is power, matter is energy. All of these things are true. If that's a question that you're curious about, ask me about it. Okay, this has spiritual components. This has political components. This has enlightenment. This has understanding. This has compassion. It has empathy. This focus. This attention. Okay, I can only tell you, but in order to show you, you have to ask a question, because that is what gives me access to what you care about. So, Nicole, I've talked a bit. You've responded, but you still don't have a question. You may not need a question right now. That may not be what you're after. You may be after something entirely different, but I don't know what that is if you don't tell me. So if we pretend that there are no accidents, that we're playing a game with fate, where can we go? That's, Katie is 100% right on that. You can, even if it's not something revolutionary, but it's still something that you want to talk about, then okay, medical and mental health specifically. That is fantastic. Do you want to go down the rabbit hole of how insane this sounds? Or would you rather run down the rabbit hole of how you can get yourself out of that hole, but you can't do it alone? You can do it alone. It's just easier if you have help. Out of the hole. Okay, so in order to talk about getting out of the hole, you don't necessarily need to understand how you got in the hole. Okay? That may not be self-serving. You're in that hole and you keep digging that hole and you're far down that hole because it's where your focus is. To change your perspective is to change the direction that you go. Now, there's a couple different schools of thought, okay? You can follow the path that you created to get down to that hole. Okay, it might have some twists and turns, might have some dead ends, but at the very least, you know the path. It's painful, it's slow, and at the end of it, you're right where you left off. So falling back into that hole, falling into that rut again is easy. There's a second school of thought. You can move diagonally or straight up and create an entirely new path from the hole that you created. How does that look? Well, you take what you learned from that hole and you use it to orient you to a new perspective, to a new conclusion. Rule 1, you have to be looking up, okay? Self-defeating behavior, cycles, habits, all of those things, they don't need to change overnight, but they do have to change. Am I wrong? Ask me another question. Take me down that rabbit hole. Take me down a different rabbit hole. Bring me to a different conclusion. We'll try to do one more, and then we'll go and we'll try to do some of the TikTok battles because I don't know where Jake went, but. Doctors not doing their job and wish people would do their job more. Okay, so I'm going to clarify if we're talking about mental health. Are we talking about therapists versus psychiatrists? Or are we talking about hospital doctors? Those that don't have the training. It's Zerk. It's sure it's turtles. No, it's Brussels sprouts. Talking about all of it. Okay. So if we follow those paths, it's 3 separate paths. So I can only go a short distance down each until we come to another crossroads, and then we have to decide what we're talking about. Okay? So doctors not understanding that mental health is not an emergency at 0. Okay? When someone's at 0, the emergency is over. Suicidal thoughts and ideation is 0. Okay? It is not enough to react at that level because the damage that's happening is exponential. Okay? So, the doctors at the hospital don't have the training. Someone comes in having harmed themselves in some way, or say that they're going to harm themselves in some way, or say that they're going to harm others and they have ideas to do so, and you get locked up in a padded little room and given medication until you say you're okay. How does that solve problems? It doesn't. Okay? It's too late to solve problems at that point. So, Nicole, we have to be very, very careful. Okay, it's not that they're not doing their jobs. It's that their jobs are so all-inclusive that they don't have the skills to be able to help everyone. That's why they have to work together. But the system is so broken that the time between ways that we help each other, you have to find it yourself. I'm sorry about that, Nicole. I'm going to do something here because it's important. Okay, I'm going to extend a hand. Okay, so this is what I'm doing right now. It sounds like you're in a rough patch, and I want to be here to listen. But in order to do that, 1, you have to be receptive to it. 2, you have to be open and honest that you are willing to talk about it. And 3, you need to be convincible. I screwed it up. So, Nicole, we're gonna have to stop this live because I was talking about unaliving people being unalived. That doesn't play with metrics well. Willow! But what I'll have to do, we'll have to stop and restart here. But, Nicole, anxiety is what's keeping you down here. It's the fear that you're going to be hurt. It's the overwhelming past experience that is dampening what is possible. You don't need to go live with me. It's just easier. What I'm not trying to do is I'm not trying to force anything. I am seeing you in your hole, and I am offering you a hand. Not to lift you to where I am, but to help you get out. Pick up a shovel and start digging. When I say that I can't do this without you, Nicole, it's because I need everyone's help. But the more that I have to explain that, the longer it takes. So we're not going to get anybody new in here. We're going to stop, regroup, and try to zero in on something important. So thank you guys. Nicole, if I see you back in here a little later, I want you to genuinely think about getting out of your comfort zone. I genuinely do. All right. Bye, guys.
The Dust Bowl during the Great Depression was 3,000 times worse than we were ever taught in school. It was so bad that a new mental illness was discovered called dust madness, where women were roaming the streets, literally walking in circles, talking to themselves. A new actual physical illness was discovered called dust pneumonia, which mainly affected children and the elderly, especially babies.